And what percentage of the people we've trained end up participating in insurrections or coups against their own government?
Very small number.
Hi there, thank you for tuning to my channel. This is Tikang, and today we are going to look at the case of Burkina Faso. Now, AFRICOM was created to bring stability in Africa. Just in 2024, the president of Burkina Faso started aligning with China and Russia and rejecting American influence. Just last week, the president of Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Traoré, survived an assassination attempt. What in the world's going on? Now, what is AFRICOM? AFRICOM is a United States military command to Africa. It was established in 2007 to support African nations in trainings, humanitarian efforts, and in counterterrorism, right? Headquartered in Germany, not Africa. Germany, and is located in West Africa, most of West Africa, the Sahel, and the Horn of Africa. While AFRICOM claims to bring stability and partnership in Africa, have critics argue that the reason why AFRICOM is present in Africa is just to extend U.S. influence and not security. Now, in the recent congressional hearings, especially in concerning Burkina Faso, AFRICOM's transparency and strategic purpose was brought into question.
General Langley, I have constituents that have been scattered across Africa on train and equip missions. So just ballpark, in the last decade, how many Africans has the United States military trained and equipped?
Congressman, I don't have that figure. I can get that figure for you.
Ballpark, just, how many?
Congressman, it would be a wild guess right now.
Seems like something we should know, right?
Over the years, we have trained a substantial number, especially in the Gulf of Guinea states, including
Like more than 10,000?
It is more than 10,000.
More than 50,000?
I'd say we're reaching around 50,000
Okay.
at least.
And what percentage of the people we've trained end up participating in insurrections or coups against their own government?
Very small number, Congressman.
Very small number. Very small number means a huge number, a big number of people that the military has trained, foreign military has trained to raise an insurrection against their own government. That's what it means.
Small number.
So what percentage do you think?
I'd say probably less than 1%.
But it does happen.
The IMET program is in force, and we've pushed a significant number through our schools across the.
Yeah, and what data sets do you track to arrive at the conclusion that less than 1% of the roughly 50,000 that we've trained have participated in coups? Because it'd be like about 500, about 1% of 50,000.
Congressman, you may have that information. I don't at this time, but I know.
Well, I know there are some, right? Like go ahead and throw up that image. This is Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, and this is a photo of him. Did we train and equip him in Guinea?
By name, I cannot identify that.
Well, that guy in the middle with the big red hat, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, that's him with a bunch of U.S. service members outside of our embassy. And just months after this photo was taken in 2021,
That's not just a regular soldier, that's a colonel. There's no way he doesn't know this guy. This guy that launches coups against his own people. There's no way he doesn't know this guy. This is what happens. This is what I was talking about. Um, Having foreign troops stationed or having them stationed in African countries, or building all these uh, um, expensive military bases in other foreign countries. Those are your tax dollars going to finance people that raise coups against their own people.
He led a coup in Guinea and threw out the leader. Does that concern you?
Congressman, core values is what we start off with in IMA programs.
Do
And
we share
stick to
core
that.
values with
Core values. You hear those fancy words that when they use those words, people that are emotional, they're gonna buy into it. Oh, core values. We came to instill core values to the African people. Africans don't need your damn core values because they come and train these people to launch a coup against their own people, cause chaos, and then the African countries, most African countries have resources to sustain the society, but no, we cannot. The African countries cannot sustain their economies because they are constantly in a state of turmoil, constantly at war, constantly at it. I don't know.
Colonel Doumbouya?
Core values. I will repeat that. Core values.
I
Respect
know,
for
but
humanity.
do we share those values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Absolutely. In our
do?
curriculum.
He led a coup.
We do.
Okay, well, that's a very telling answer.
It's a very telling answer. So you have core values with this rebel that launched a coup against his own people. And that's exactly what's happening to Ibrahim Traoré, who is trying to build a strong economy. He's trying to bring Africans together. You know, he's trying to say, hey, we have the resources. We can use our resources to build our economies. And they're trying to take him out. And people the problem with us Africans, the problem with people from African descent is that people don't read the details. That's a problem. And we are always pointing fingers at the wrong enemy. People keep saying, like, what's happening with Ibrahim Traoré? I've seen people online say, oh, it's Trump. Oh, it's Americans. When you put people in a ballpark like that, you cannot know your real enemy. People need to go to the details and see exactly who is causing the problems that we're facing in Africa today, all the coups that have been launched in different countries. Look at the countries, look at their resources, look at who is interested in those regions. That's how you do it. But when we launch accusations and we generalize everything, oh, it's Americans. Which Americans? Look at the Americans that always launch wars in countries. Look at the people who are in office, and whenever they're in office, what happens in African countries? That's what we should be looking at. I don't understand how people are constantly making all these generalizations. We will never come to the real answers if we keep generalizing things. We need to look at exactly who is financing these rebels. We need to look into who exactly is involved. You can even push yourself and go to okay, how much does this person make per month? What's his net worth today? Is this person getting paid to launch these wars in African countries? That's how you get to who the real enemy is. Okay? That's how you get to who the real enemy is. Because if you don't see the details, we're constantly going to point fingers at the wrong people. We're constantly going to look in the wrong direction, and we will never come to the answers that we're looking for. Now, listen to this. As Western influence declines in the Sahel, Russia and China are stepping in. Russia has deepened its military ties in the region, especially through the Wagner Group, which operates in countries like Mali and Burkina Faso. In April 2024, Russia pledged support for the Alliance of Sahel States, new 5,000 troop joint force. Now, meanwhile, China has been rebuilding ties since 2018, following a break with Taiwan. It's investing heavily in Burkina Faso, funding a $70 million hospital in Bobo Dioulasso, supporting agriculture, building infrastructure, and developing solar energy. China is also showing strong interest in gold and manganese mining while expanding its role in the telecom and surveillance technologies. Now, my question is, can we form partnerships without military presence? That is, having boots on the ground. Because when we talk about partnership between global powers and African countries, I believe there are other ways in which to provide support. Training programs, for example, intelligence sharing, and even equipment aid. We don't need foreign troop stations in our countries. Every time there's a military presence, it brings political and economic influence. And let's be honest, it rarely works out in favor of the host country. Take China, for example. So many people argue that the presence of the Chinese has brought about some sort of development in African countries, roads, hospitals, and the Chinese are investing in our economies. But they bring their own workforce, fill the top positions and with their own people, and leave locals with menial, low-paid jobs. So how is that truly helping African countries? What's the real benefit of African countries? Because honestly, I'm struggling to see it. Now, Burkina Faso is sending a very strong message, and that message is Western influence is fading away and their dominance is ending. But now you have China and Russia. Russia's got troop stations in Burkina Faso, and you have Chinese investing almost all over Africa. And I don't know, I still believe that Africa can doesn't need troop stations in their countries, and they can have Chinese investing in African countries, but also should negotiate Chinese using local labor. Africa can survive on its own given the resources that we have. Okay, they are sustainable resources. All they need to do is have good governance and also negotiate good trade deals. I don't know. What do you think? Enjoy the rest of your day. I encourage you to keep reading, keep listening, and most importantly, keep an open mind. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.
In Burkina Faso, did we share core values with the leader that we trained there who led a coup?
It's in our curriculum. We
Leading
stress
coups
core
are in our
values.
curriculum?
We request civilian-led governance.
Wait, hold on. Is leading coups in our curriculum?
Absolutely not.